Hey guys, Parfax here. Today I am bringing you another New World video. This video is all gonna be about the combat system. There has been a lot of talk revolving around this topic, and I wanted to kind of show you guys the combat system, how it works, and my opinion of it. All right, let's get started. So first, when it comes to the combat system, I want to explain kind of how it works. There's a lot of misconception out there about the combat system in this game, and people essentially think that it's just, oh my god, you have 3 buttons, that's it, so clunky, oh my god. Well, that's partially because they're not actually doing it correctly. So yes, the base abilities right now, you have 2 weapons, they have 3 skills apiece, so you have 6 total skills. But each weapon has its actual own auto attack. Now, auto attacks in this game are not like things, for instance, like ESO or Black Desert or WoW or any of your traditional MMOs. They actually have a set of skills attached to them that you don't necessarily see unless you actually use the weapon and pay attention, and they're actually extremely useful. So what do I mean? So let's look at the difference between these two-handed weapons. So watch my auto attack. 1, 2. Wait a second, 1, 2, and I'm spam clicking my button, right? So I'm hitting 2 auto attacks, there's a brief stop, and there's another one. Kind of quick, and then there's a pause, and then it's over. Now, the hammer, which I'm using right now, is what most people will say is the clunkiest weapon in the game. It is very slow, but I'm gonna show you how to use this to where it doesn't look clunky. You're gonna watch and like, oh, that's actually not clunky at all. But first, let's look at its auto attack. 1 slow, 2 slow, 1 slow, 2 slow, 1 slow, 2 slow. So it has that same 2 auto attacks and a cooldown, 2 auto attacks and a cooldown. Now let's actually move to some one-handed weapons. First, let's go to the sword. Sword is the first weapon you get in the game, and it's just kind of, you know, of course, an iconic weapon in any game ever. So okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the sword has a triple auto attack. Each do different things. Each are basically their own skills. And then after the third one, you have a essential cooldown. Now let's go to, we'll go to the other melee weapon here. And we have an axe. The only melee weapon I don't have with me is the rapier. I just didn't buy one. But you can kind of get what I'm getting at with these. So with the axe, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the axe has 4 different auto attacks and then a slight cooldown. And then for all of your ranged weapons, they're essentially the same, and they have 1. Now each weapon does have a heavy attack, which works very similar to, let's say, a heavy attack in ESO. Now, each weapon has its own set of passives, and some of them give you like grit and stuff when you have a fully charged heavy attack. We're not going to necessarily go over that. That's just in specific builds, but we're just kind of going over why people think the game is so clunky and what my actual thoughts are. So now that we've talked about those weapons, let's show you how everybody's doing the combat wrong. We are going to put on the clunkiest weapon in the game, the two-handed Warhammer. Everybody's like, Parfax, this weapon is so clunky. Well, I'm going to show you how to make it less clunky. Now, this is the clunkiest weapon in the game. So let's go over here and fight this mob. So essentially what you actually want to do is you want to use a lot of the time the cooldown for your auto attack to do your skills. So watch this now, clunky, remember. And we could have still done that. Now that's one weapon. Mind you, we have 6 seconds left on that bar. When I swap to this bar, by the time I get through a rotation on here, all of my cooldowns are going to be up on my back bar as I'm going into them. Maybe there is a slight, there'll be a timing where your cooldowns just quite are off cooldowns. You might have to do one extra rotation of light attacks, but you can actually fully do a rotation in PvE with this ability. What most people end up doing is we'll go over here. Let's go see if we can find another mob. I think this wolf is within level. Hopefully he's not too high. Alright, he is. This is what most people do. Hopefully I don't kill him too quickly. Now we're gonna... Alright, it's okay that we missed him. I actually wanted to miss him there because it shows you. Now what they do is they just auto attack, right? How fun's this, right? We're just swinging our hammer. So when they glow like that, they actually can't be stunned, and then they're getting ready to charge. So we're just mindly swinging our hammer, and yeah, it kind of looks clunky. I was like missing autos and stuff like that. Now, mind you, I wasn't particularly like actually trying to hit them. I was just showing you how most people end up doing the combat. So when you actually just spam your abilities as fast as you can, it does look really, really clunky because you spammed it. Now I have 6 seconds of me just sitting here auto attacking for no reason. And why? Only because I didn't do it properly. It's just like an ESO. When you're doing rotations, when you're doing your spells, you have to weave. You have to do a proper rotation. When we're doing PvE in this game, you still have to do the same thing. People are so up into this. Oh my god, we only have 3 skills. No, your auto attacks act as skills. I know. Most games don't actually have auto attacks that are different from others. This one does. You put them into the rotation, and then your skills aren't clunky. Now, everybody's like, well, I'm rooted animation. Yes, I'm rooted for the quarter second that I actually do that. And that. And that. Yes, I'm rooted. If you can't get over the fact that you're rooted for a half second, then this game will never be for you. PvP is essentially a chess match. When it's a 1v1, I don't know of a game that I have enjoyed more on a 1v1 scale than this game. I've enjoyed it more than Crowfall, which everybody knows I love. I way much enjoy it more than ESO. BDO compares to it. BDO I consider to be the best PvP game I've ever played at the very beginning. I hate BDO now. I can't stand the one shot, just keep super armor up all the time. That's not my cup of tea. I'm not a one-shot person. Yes, when you watch some of my ESO videos, I'm sniping people, hitting 100% of their health. That's funny, cool, whatever. But it comes into legitimate 1v1s, I like more of a strategic battle. And that's what this game plays as. You're going to see some clips right now of me doing small 1v1s or 1v2s, and it plays as a strategy game. You have to bait out spells. You have to bait out all their abilities. You have to watch. You have to dodge. Dodging this game is absolutely crucial. This isn't like ESO or, you know, other games where you can just either block or every class can just face tank it. This game, you can't just face tank it. You actually have to skillfully use your abilities and skillfully dodge spells. Now, I'm playing heavy armor in a lot of these clips, but heavy armor doesn't dodge very much. They are more of a face tanky class. I put heavy armor on mainly because I was doing large sieges and I was running a big siege build. Now, let's look at what actually happens when I use a weapon that is not as clunky. So now I'm going to put on the spear, and I'm going to show you what it looks like to fight with the spear that is less clunky than the actual two-handed axe. Now tell me if this looks clunky. Oh, I missed it. If that looked clunky to you, then I would 100% stay away. Like, if you just want to hate on the game to hate on the game, that's fine. If you've played it and you don't like the content, you don't like the combat, don't play it. That's fine. Some people like the spammy ESO style more than others. Don't get me wrong, I have played a ton of ESO and I love ESO. But one thing I can tell you when it comes to the combat in this game, it is such a refreshing change of pace over the same style of combat from ArcAge, ESO, Guild Wars 2, Terra. All of these different PvP MMOs have these same style of combat. Now, I love survival games. This game feels a lot more like a survival game in the combat sense than an actual MMO. And I think people come into this game thinking, or watch this game, 90% of the people that are actually talking about the clunky combat they have never actually played it. Like, once you actually play the game, you're like, oh, this isn't as bad. Yeah, maybe when you're doing things like I said, I'm just gonna spam my spells. And now I have to auto attack for 10 seconds because I didn't properly use my spells. Like in, I don't know, any other MMO you've ever played in your life, if you misuse your spells, then shit doesn't go correctly. But in this game, if you do it properly, if you do proper rotations, it's actually a ton of fun. PvE, I'm not a big PvEer, you guys know it. PvE rotations are, you know, auto attack, spell, auto attack, spell, and it also depends on, like I said, which weapon you're using. Sometimes you'll do with the hatchet, for instance, 4 auto attacks, a sword, 3 auto attacks, spell, and you'll do rotations that way. Ranged abilities are going to be, you know, their auto attacks and their spells. It's a little bit different because you only have one auto attack, so it is essentially kind of a weave type of scenario where you auto attack, spell, auto attack, spell, auto attack, spell. But when it comes to especially melee, which is where people see the clunkiness, it's just because they're doing it incorrectly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is 100% blog style, rant style, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to get a ton of hate in the comments, and I really don't care. So let me know if you hate it, if you love it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I am absolutely unapologetic. I don't care. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to like it. But all these people in the comments just ranting and raving, and they haven't even picked up the game because they're watching somebody who doesn't even know how to play the game at all play the combat. Would be like watching ESO, a person that's just started playing the game. Do you know what they do? They cast 4 abilities, run out of mana, and light attack for 10 seconds. And that's not appetizing at all. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you got to the end of this video and you think that was a horrible analogy with the appetizing, put it in the comment section down below. But all the haters aren't going to be at this point anyway. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.